You know when they explode, right? You guys have had explosions happen with your coffee. Also, by the way, try the new almond milk Starbucks. This episode is not sponsored by Starbucks, but the almond milk iced coffee from Starbucks is really, really delicious, and it's dairy-free, and it rules. First question. Being a Les Paul fan, are you a 50s or 60s neck kind of guy? Oh man, you know what? I used to staunchly defend the 50s necks. And I like a big fat neck and it can't be big enough and blah, 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 and all those things that sound cool when you're 25. But as I get older, and that was absolutely true at one time, I want to emphasize, when I was younger, the bigger the neck, the better. You could not get me a big enough neck, unless it was like the Paul Gilbert Fireman model. That neck is just massive. But the older I get, the more of a 60s Gibson neck kind of guy I am. I don't like a wizard neck. I've always hated wizard necks, and I've never made any buts about that on this channel. However, a Gibson 60s profile is perfect. Or a Paul Reed Smith, I don't know what they call that, just the regular standard Paul Reed Smith kind of neck. That's amazing too. Just a general kind of a C shape is awesome, but like a big old fat baseball bat neck, I don't know, man. It's not really my thing anymore. And I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if that's just because your tastes change over time just for the sake of having something different, or if it's like physically it's more comfortable for my older hand or something. I don't really know. What kind of necks do you guys prefer? What's the best gear trade you've ever made? So technically, the best gear trade I ever made was for this Paul Reed Smith Custom 22 dealer special. And what's special about this particular Custom 22 is they don't normally do a satin black finish on the Custom 22 core models. And also this has the McCarty switching system. There's no blade pickup. There is a Gibson style 3-way toggle. And this was a special order from the guitar store in Seattle. And James, the owner, is a good friend of mine. So the story goes, and I paid for this, but there was a trade involved. And the story goes like this. I traded in a Marshall 412, a reissue Marshall JCM 800, and a 90s 2-channel triple rectifier. And I had store credit, right? I didn't actually see anything I really wanted, but I was out of room at my house and I was just not feeling those 3 pieces of gear. So I had store credit, and about a week later, this rolled in and I was there for the unboxing of it, and I instantly had to have it. Now, the trade-in value for my stuff was like $2,500 or something, give or take. This guitar streets for, I think it was $3,800. And James, being the friend that he is, was like, we'll call it even. Like, you'll get me down the road. I'll figure out something, right? Like, we're bros, what goes around comes around kind of thing. So it could be said that I traded a Marshall 412, a 2-channel Mesa Boogie triple rectifier, and a reissue Marshall JCM 800 2203 for this guitar. And that is the best trade I have ever had and probably ever will have. Well worth it. James is a super bro. Shout out to James. What was your biggest hang up when you were starting out on YouTube? So initially when I started this channel, my thing that I kind of initially gravitated towards was less talk, more riffs or something. Less talk, more, I don't even remember what the tagline was, but that was an excuse to not have to talk on camera. Everyone was poorly talking on camera at that time, and I didn't want to be horrible at talking in front of the camera, so I just didn't do it. And my thing was, I just wouldn't talk. And it was very, I think Ola probably felt the same way initially. If you ask him, like, he didn't talk in his videos either. in the old days, and I'm talking like 2010, 2011 time frame. But I knew it was inevitable that I was gonna have to talk. And initially there is, I think, something where I explain like a budget home studio or something with home recording. I voice over my dog Gus because I couldn't be in front of a camera talking. So talking in front of a camera was my biggest hang up by far. And I spent time practicing in front of a camera and getting comfortable, because with the camera, there's no feedback. There's no facial expressions. I am talking into a camera lens right now. And that's a really unnatural thing to do. And most people are not good at it, understandably. So I took I read up on a lot of public speaking stuff. I took a couple of real short public speaking courses like on Lydia, and just to better myself. And just over time, I got better and better. But by far, my biggest hang up was talking in front of a camera. I need to retube my 2-channel dual rec. Which tubes do you like and why? Well, the tubes are a very, very deep rabbit hole if you want to get into it. Right off the bat though, I really like the Shuguang Chinese Ruby, like 12AX7 C5s and the C7s in the preamp section, and also in the power section, although I do really love the Electro Harmonic 6L6 GC in the power section as well. However, if you just don't want to even bother and you want to put something in that's a surefire, sounds good, not even think about it, go with Mesa Boogie tubes. Honestly, the Mesa Boogie tubes are great. They're basically rebranded and tested JJs, and you can just pop them right in and not have to worry about it, especially with the power tubes. If you get Mesa Boogie power tubes, you could just pop them right in and they're good to go. But if you want to up that game a little bit, there's definitely options out there. Electro Harmonics makes great tubes. JJ makes great tubes. Tongue Soul are great tubes, although they're a little warm to put in all positions. But yeah, TubeDepot.com is typically where I go to kind of research and just kind of see what's out there. But yeah, good luck on the tube rabbit hole. Ever had a piece of gear sent out to you that you went, yeah, no? There's been a few over the years. The one that really sticks out in my mind is there was a pedal that was, I'm gonna try to describe it. There was a pedal that was a cross between like a modular synth kind of a thing and like a looper. And it was also kind of like a line mixer. So there were rows of knobs and you could mix and control and do things with whatever you put in each individual thing's loop. And the pedal was about that big. And you could hook any pedals you want into it, and then you could basically mix it and then kick out a signal and then split it and do all sorts of things. There were literally like 50 switches on this thing. And I said, it's not for me, because it was option paralysis for me. I couldn't wrap my brain around it, and I sent it back. Not for me. Yeah. What's the best low-priced bass amp for a beginner? I've always been a huge fan of the Fender Rumble combos because they sound good, they're cheap, and they just work. They're a little solid-state combo. I think they start at like $100 or $120 or something like that. The Fender Rumble stuff, I have been in bands, 20 years ago, our bass player had a Fender Rumble 115 combo, or I think it was, and we played a lot of shows and beat the crap out of that thing. Never let us down, not even once. So I would definitely say Fender Rumble. If you want to step up and spend a little bit more money, Orange makes a 115 combo or 110 combo or something like that. Solid state, that's like $175. That sounds really good. There are a lot of options out there, but yeah, Fender Rumble or Orange are definitely what I would go with. With all the guitars you have owned, what is your preference? Bolt neck, glued neck, neck through body designs, and why? Good question. Like the neck size, my preference for construction has also changed. I started out as a kid playing a Strat. I played a Strat for 20 years almost, right? And I then gravitated towards set necks. Honestly, the thing that I know I'm not really a fan of are neck through designs. For some reason, I can't even pinpoint why exactly. There's something in the feel of a neck through body or neck through neck design that feels a little dull for me. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I like the snappiness of a bolt-on neck, and I like the warmth and the immediacy of a glued-in neck joint, like a Les Paul or something like that. But currently, I really like bolt-on necks. I also, as a touring musician, really like the idea of being able to replace a potentially broken neck, God forbid, or something like that, where I can unbolt a broken or damaged neck and just slap on a new one. I like that aspect, although that is a rare occasion that you would need to do that. But I don't know, I'm feeling bolt-on necks recently. They just, they feel nice, they're snappy. I don't know, they feel right. And now, Fluff reads a tweet. My daughter couldn't remember the name for a library, and she called it a book ranch instead. She just turned 18. My suggestion to you this week is to check out the new Korn album, The Nothing. The mix on this album is stunning, and the songs are amazing. It's really a return to form for Korn. I am highly enjoying this album, and if you like heavy stuff, I think you would as well. All the pickable links down below in the description. You've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.